Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope everything is good. I hope. Here, I'm just kind of done. You know, sometimes I have to really watch what I ask for, right? Like, I feel like that statement, that "watch what you ask for" statement, is more of like a comment to the void that is the universe. Of like, careful what you wish for, there, buddy. You know, you might just get it. Today was one of those days where I got it. Been saying this week that I miss manual labor and that I enjoy working on cars and miss working on houses and talking about carpentry and all that sort of stuff. And of course, my thoughts are answered because M's car breaks. She said yesterday she was driving. She said something's wrong with my car. It's making noise, and I think there's a spot in the driveway. Okay. So she gets home and there's no power steering fluid in it. Great. So this was last night. I said, well, take my car to work tomorrow. I'll take the day off and I'll fix your car. Whatever it is, we'll just fix it. And she was like, no, I can work from home and we'll get it done. I said, okay. I had also promised my oldest today that I would take her to take her written test for her driver's permit. So I had that on the dead. I had a dead hard out. Like, I have to be done with this at like 3. So we wake up this morning, kind of laze about a bit, letting it get a little warmer outside. And like 10:30 or so, we go outside and start looking, and it looks like power steering line is broke. I ever start the car, and it about squirts me in the face, like stream of power steering fluid. Like, yep, well, it's definitely power steering lines. So we go. Luckily, they're in stock locally. Go pick them up, come back, and I'm like, all right, we'll just do this. And then I spent like 4 hours, 3 hours, trying to change 2 power steering lines on an '04 Chevy Trailblazer, and it kicked my ass. It's still not done. The lines are on finally. I hope that they are sealed properly and that they're not going to cause me any more problems, but the whole car is torn apart. I didn't realize that this job required you to remove, like, everything, just to change 2 stupid little power steering lines. I'm used to Chryslers, where the power steering lines are usually fairly accessible. Definitely not the case on this car. Definitely not the case. This job kicked my ass, and it's cold. It was like 30 degrees today. I'm shivering. Everything hurts. My hands are all cut up from trying to reach down inside this stupid engine. I had to kind of jack the car up a little bit so I could get the wheel off, so I could get in there to take the lines loose. But then you need to get up on top of the car, and my whole body hurts. My back hurts. My legs hurt. And it was just so frustrating. And by the end, I was just like, I have to go get my kid. I promised her I would do this. I'm not going to fail as a father because the car's broke. And I broke down. I mean, it broke me. It literally broke me. I think I was crying. I think there were tears in my eyes. And, I'm not afraid to admit that, obviously. I just did. I'll tell you. It kicked my ass. I've never had a job just hand it to me like that. I felt completely worthless, completely useless, because I could not get these stupid lines off and back in without destroying stuff. Hopefully, I didn't destroy anything. Hopefully, everything goes back together and it works. But, she needed her car in the morning. The time crunch really made it the part that sucked, because it was like I had to have it done so I could go get my kid. I had to have it done because she has to take her car in the morning to go somewhere, and she can't. So she's going to have to take my car, and I'm going to have to fix her car. And, I don't know. I just lost it. It was rough. But I got there in time to get my kid, and she got her driver's permit. She passed her test. This was the second time she took it, but she passed it. And bought her a permit, and took her to Walmart and stuff. Got to spend a little bit of time with her, which was nice, but man, I hurt. Physically and mentally. I have to really kind of process what just went through me today. I'm not proud of how I reacted to the situation. And it was a whole lot of unforeseen. I really didn't think it was going to be that difficult. I've changed power steering lines probably literally hundreds of times. Chrysler had some recalls on power steering lines, so I changed a lot of power steering lines, and I never encountered a job like this. Like, I had to take so much of her car apart just to take these two stupid lines out. Engineers, man. It's a good lesson for why engineers should do their own product testing, because they might get to see how dumb it is to put a fastener in a location that is literally inaccessible without taking 12 other components off, or without disassembling something that is not simple to disassemble just to get at a bolt or a screw. And these are in places where it would have been very easy to route it differently. But because of the assembly line, because of somebody's designing it in a room that never actually touched the car, it can be super frustrating. When I was a mechanic, we used to joke that I used to joke with engineers when they'd say that they're an engineer, and I'd say, "Oh, I fix engineering problems for a living." It's true. You know, these things are made to the failure point. They're made to last just long enough to be useful for the amount that you pay for them. Engineers could build a car that has very little failure rate, a very small failure rate for decades. They could build a car that would never rust out. They could build a car that would not age as dramatically, but none of us could afford that. So they have to make it as they make it to a failure point. Today it broke me, but she can take my car tomorrow, and I will work on her car in the morning, and then I will get to work on fixing this art box for my oldest, and it'll be okay. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for all of your love and support and comments. I really appreciate you very, very much, and I mean that. I'll see you Monday. Alexa, tell me a random fact.
The word boredom was first coined by Charles Dickens in his 1852 novel Bleak House.
Bleak House? Boredom.